Hi, John Jesse with the Health Continuum here with another in our series of Ask an Expert. And today I'm so excited. We have Derek Rykert, who is the Director of Community Services in American Fork, Utah. Been there for 23 years. He was there during my tenure when I was working out there and also teaching spin and cycling classes for over a decade. Derek, welcome. So happy to have you here.
Thanks, John. Excited to be with you today.
And I don't know whether we go way back. And Derek, I don't even remember. I was not only working out there and teaching there, but I was doing research for my book at that time on the 5 Minute Miracle. And I was using the track there, actually trained all winter for 3 months, never ran more than the 40 minutes, and then won the 5K that I was training for that February. So it's very successful. But I wanted to see if it works for other people. So I drugged Derek, you out there on the track, sprinting around. I don't know if you remember that experience or not.
I do remember it. I loved it. You dragging me around the track, and I can't say I incorporated that into my journey as I've gone forward as well. It's a true method.
It is a true method. It actually wasn't popular then. The research was available, and then it became very popular. You all know about HIT. Well, that's what HIT comes from, that same research. It's the same type of thing, and it's very popular. You're right. It is very powerful, and I would highly recommend, as I do in my book, to conclude that. Well, in my book, I do talk about 3 general places you can work out. And you can work out at home. That's where I work out now. You can work out at one of the many professional commercial fitness places. They're everywhere, no matter where you live. Or a third option that I worry that a lot of people don't consider it, which is your local recreation fitness center. So if I haven't been to a recreation center in a while or haven't been there to work out on my fitness, tell me why I should consider going and what I would find there that could help.
Yeah, for sure. Having, as you mentioned, been here for 23 years, I've kind of seen the gamut of what we can offer and who comes here. And I think what we're really focused on is the whole journey of the health, plan. And we try to have classes, we try to have equipment, we try to have our personnel so that you could feel comfortable and you can come and experience the physical, the mental, the social, the relationships are significant that I see people create. And as they join that community, it makes them want to come back. It helps create accountability and gives them a place to go. So I think specifically here at our facility, we kind of have the tagline, something for everyone. We have triathletes, we have people doing physical therapy. So we have the full range, and I think most people can find a place that they feel comfortable.
It's interesting you mentioned that relationships. I taught spin there cycle for over 10 years, and we had a lot of people come to class that had never been on a bicycle. And our goal was always to get them on a bicycle outside. And we probably have, I don't know, maybe at least 20 of those folks or more maybe that we're still riding bikes with outdoors that ended up buying bikes and that are so tightly connected. We've done events all over the country with them, and yeah, relationships forever. So I'm glad you
Yeah.
mentioned that. You can't get that. Let's compare it to the 2 other options. What does a recreation center give you as compared to home? What's going to be the difference?
I would say the accountability helps. If you're meeting a friend or a workout partner, that helps. I think it helps you make better choices, what you're going to eat, that you're going to show up and you're going to be there. And I think also the variety that you can get, if whether it has a swimming pool or group fitness classes that you can go in and participate in, your cycling classes that you had, I think are things that are make a difference to go.
Wow, I'm glad you mentioned that accountability. We talk about that in the book, but it really is helpful to be accountable to someone beside yourself, isn't it? And even if it just means you're going to say hi in a class, I saw that bond. You get 3 or 4 ladies that had started going together, and man, maybe 2 of them don't want to go that morning. The other one says, "Oh, you got to come," and they all show up. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a big deal. That's great.
Yeah, it's kind of random, John, but we have a lady, Nyla, who you'd remember, that works the front desk. And from
Is
time to
Nyla
time,
still there?
Nyla's still here. She's
Oh
30
my,
plus years, man.
oh my
So
goodness!
yeah, she's awesome. But sometimes I would sub for her, and open the facility, and people would walk in and be like, "What are you doing here? Like, we're here to see Nyla and to work out." And they just have created those relationships over the years.
I really enjoyed. It was a little early in the morning, 5 o'clock when we rolled in there, but boy, it was.
Yeah.
You're right. I assumed she had retired. I'm going to go by and say hello to her next time I'm up there.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want to badmouth gyms, but there are
Right.
certainly differences between a commercial gym that you would go to and your local recreation center. Maybe you can articulate what would be the advantage or differences going to the commercial gym as opposed if I come to this recreation center that everyone pretty much has, depending on the size of town you're living in?
Yeah. So I would say one thing is we try to kind of our tagline also is beginning to end, cradle to grave. We try to incorporate the whole family dynamic. So we have places for kids, programming, swim team, different things like that. And so we try to have something that you could come with your whole family or with a, a significant other and everybody can find something to do. Where maybe at a commercial gym you're just there to lift weights or hit the treadmill or, get in there, get your hard workout and get out.
Can I use the word intensity? It seems like at a gym, boy, it's intense, which is
Yeah,
good and proper for some people. But a lot of the people that are probably listening to this, that doesn't maybe work for them. And so you're describing a more blended, a more uh, a full compassed approach. Yeah.
experience. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, some folks, let me ask you this. Why don't you tell us about any success stories that may have come to mind during your time there? Individuals, groups, particular program. You talked about Nyla. That's a success story. Having that
Yeah,
connection.
for sure.
Any others you can share with us?
Um, and I was thinking of your group, John. There was a day that you talked me into giving you a key so that you could get in early and get in at other times where we didn't have things going. And since then, I've never given anybody a key to, just to get in because you created such a demand that people wanted to be a part of it. And it was like, hey, I've got 35 people that want to come spin. When are we going to do it? And I was like, well, here's a key. Come
Wow.
in.
I forgot all about that. You know what that was, Derek? It was we got all these people to get on bikes, right? And we lived
Yeah.
where it was snowy and icy, and you're training all winter. And the first big one of the big things you do on a bike is to get a 100-mile ride. And I mean, that's a big deal. And down here in St. George, where I live now, they had a 100-mile ride in February, March. And so we wanted to train, but we couldn't train outside. And you need to go 2, 3 hours. And so it was for Saturday morning, like at 5 o'clock in the morning. And that's why we needed the key. And we had that room full for a few months in a row, everyone training. And everyone who came and trained finished that 100-mile couple of years in a row. Everyone.
Yeah.
And none of them hardly had ridden 100 miles before. So thank you. I'd forgotten all about that. I hope I gave the
Yeah.
key. Did I give the
Yeah, I'm sure you did, or I changed the locks. I'm not sure, but yeah. So just experiences like that. As I think of the patrons in general, we just through their life journey as they make those relationships, whether they're dealing with cancer or divorce or loss, just hardships in life. This is a place that they can come and get that support, get that strength. Just to keep battling each day, and that's where it's more than just lifting weights or hitting a treadmill. It's helping them mentally, emotionally, socially.
That's a great thing. Things are always changing in the fitness world. Tell us, is there anything new and innovative at your facility last year, something that's kind of now cutting edge people are doing?
We do stay in contact with other community centers. You mentioned kind of the hit when that came in. We really converted spaces in our facility so we could have hit offerings. We added a new cycling studio. We added what we call the rack room, which is kind of we've really tried to engage also the teenagers and Gen Z and what they want their experience to be like when they come in, where they want a lot of weights. They want a lot of weights, and so we just added a ton of weights down there. So interval training, small group training is a big one that people have wanted. With one trainer with 3 or 4 clients and giving them space.
Great. I remember one day walking in your facility and there was this vibrating kind of machine and it was pretty old, I think. You didn't get it new. And there was this little old lady standing on there and she was standing there. And I kind of laughed at, oh, and she thinks that's doing her any good. She thinks she can get a workout. Well, it come to find out as I ended up researching that a particular type of workout. It is amazing. And I had to laugh. I have one in my house, and
Okay.
lots of people I know have one because I've told them about it. It's amazing technology. And I first saw it at the local recreation center, and this little lady, and you know what? She was getting a workout. I have to laugh now. I wish I could have gone to her later because I kind of laughed at that. Oh boy, I probably said to my wife, "Yeah, she doesn't. Oh,
Yeah.
she thinks that's a workout. Oh, what a weight! But at least she's getting out of the house. No, it's a great workout. Vibrating praise. In fact, we're going to do a whole segment on that at some point. Well, Derek, some folks particularly maybe mature ones, watching this might be thinking, well, I don't think I'd fit in or feel comfortable going to a workout center like a rec center. What would you say to them?
I would say come try it out. We're calling it active aging. We're all, I mean, that's one of the things you talk about is something we can't control is our age, right? So we're all gonna face that. At COVID, we got challenged by our mayor as a community to take care of our seniors, our active agers, our mature. And so it's our biggest class at our facility right now. We have over 45 people. So we have to put in extra instructors and we've really tied together our fitness center with our senior center. Again, so they're getting the physical, they're getting the social, we feed them a meal and they come and they just make these friends. They join this community. And so I think we try to eliminate barriers to entry. And so if it's your first time or you haven't been for a while, we want to, make you comfortable to come. And I was thinking about that. One thing that some of the you call them the mature ones don't know is at a community center, oftentimes their insurance will pay for their membership. And we encourage them to check with their insurance to see if they'll cover it. And again, that's another barrier that we can eliminate so that they can come come be at the facility.
Well, I think you're exactly right. And to anyone out there thinking, there are so many advantages to working out with other people. And a rec center provides such a loving, warm, invitive atmosphere. Derek, we thank you for your service, for your stewardship that you've followed for 23 years, helping so many people. And I'll tell you, I'm going to be, it's always helpful to have something to train for, Derek, right? Let me,
Yeah,
let me
yeah.
tell you, I am going to be putting together a group of hopefully 10 to go to Mount Everest Base Camp. It's going to be about
Really?
here. Yeah, it doesn't cost as much as you'd think, and it's only like a 35-mile hike. It's just the elevation.
The
So
elevation.
think about that. You'll get a general invite out. So thank you
Okay.
so much for all you've done and continue to do. And if you haven't thought about it, folks, hey, give it a consideration. And as always, my message to you is what are you able and willing to do today to begin to improve your health? One strand, one change. That's all it takes. Have a great and healthy day. John Jesse with Health Continuum. Thank you.